Situation: you want to improve your English speaking skills. Here are 3 ways you can do that. 1. Practice speaking with a native speaker. 2. Join an English speaking club. 3. Watch English movies and repeat the dialogues. Which do you think is the most effective way to improve your English speaking skills?
To improve my English speaking skills, I think the most effective method is to practice speaking with a native speaker. When I speak directly with someone who uses English as their first language, I can learn the natural rhythm, tone, and expressions of real conversation. It gives me the chance to make mistakes and receive immediate corrections, which helps me grow much faster than passive learning methods. Of course, joining an English speaking club is beneficial too, especially for building confidence. However, most members are non-native speakers, so the learning might be limited. Watching movies and repeating dialogues is fun and useful for listening and pronunciation, but it's a one-way interaction and doesn't build real speaking fluency. So overall, practicing with a native speaker is the most active and realistic method to improve my English speaking skills in a practical and long-lasting way.
Situation: you are a student and want to save money. Here are 3 possible ways. 1. Cook meals at home instead of eating out. 2. Limit online shopping. 3. Use public transport instead of taxis or motorbikes. Which do you think is the best way to save money?
In my opinion, the best way to save money as a student is to cook meals at home instead of eating out. Eating out regularly can quickly become very expensive, especially for students on a limited budget. By cooking at home, I can plan my meals in advance, buy ingredients in bulk, and even prepare several meals at once to save time and effort. It's not only cheaper but also healthier and more satisfying. Limiting online shopping is also important, especially for unnecessary items, but it depends on one's habits. As for using public transport, it's a good strategy, but not everyone has access to a reliable system. Therefore, developing the habit of cooking at home brings the most consistent and long-term financial benefit for students trying to save money.
Situation: you want to get a summer job to earn money and gain experience. Here are 3 job options. 1. Work as a waiter/waitress. 2. Teach English to children. 3. Do an internship in an office. Which job do you think is the most beneficial?
I believe that doing an internship in an office is the most beneficial summer job out of the 3 options. This kind of work provides real-life experience in a professional environment. It allows me to understand how a company works, interact with coworkers, learn about responsibilities, and improve skills like communication and time management. If the internship is related to my field of study, it can be an excellent stepping stone toward future job opportunities. Working as a waiter or waitress teaches customer service and can earn decent tips, while teaching English is meaningful and builds communication skills. However, an office internship is more relevant if you want to pursue a long-term career in a specific industry. That's why I think gaining early experience through an internship is the smartest and most forward-thinking choice for a summer job.
Situation: your exams are coming. Here are 3 ways you can prepare. 1. Study with a group of friends. 2. Make a study timetable and follow it. 3. Watch review videos on YouTube. Which do you think is the most effective method?
To prepare effectively for final exams, I think the best method is to make a study timetable and follow it strictly. A clear timetable helps me stay organized and focused. I can break large subjects into smaller parts, allocate time to each topic, and include breaks to avoid burnout. It prevents procrastination and helps me stay consistent, which is essential for good results. Studying with friends might be motivating, but it can also lead to distractions. Watching YouTube videos is useful for understanding difficult concepts, but it can't replace personal effort and planning. Therefore, a well-structured study schedule not only keeps me disciplined but also ensures that I cover all topics in time, making it the most effective strategy for exam preparation.
Situation: your best friend's birthday is coming. Here are 3 ways you can celebrate it. 1. Organize a surprise party. 2. Buy them a meaningful gift. 3. Take them on a short trip. Which do you think is the best way to celebrate?
I believe that the best way to celebrate a friend's birthday is to organize a surprise party. It's not just about gifts or outings, it's about creating a special moment they'll remember forever. A surprise party shows effort and thoughtfulness. You can include decorations, music, games, and invite close friends. The joy and emotion your friend feels when they walk into a room full of love and celebration is priceless. Buying a meaningful gift is nice, but it doesn't have the same emotional impact as a shared experience. A short trip can be wonderful too, but it often takes more time and money, and not everyone may be available to join. So, in my opinion, planning a surprise party is the most joyful, memorable, and heartfelt way to show your friend how much they mean to you.
Situation: you often feel stressed after school or work. Here are 3 ways to relax. 1. Do physical exercise. 2. Spend time with family or friends. 3. Listen to music or meditate. Which do you think is the most effective way to reduce stress?
In my opinion, the most effective way to reduce stress after school or work is to do physical exercise. When I exercise, my body releases endorphins, which naturally improve my mood and reduce feelings of stress. Physical activity also helps me shift focus away from mental worries and into something active and positive. Whether it's jogging, playing sports, or just walking, moving my body helps me clear my mind and sleep better at night. Spending time with family or friends is also helpful, especially emotionally, but it might not always be available if people are busy. Listening to music or meditating is relaxing, but these methods are more passive and may not work as effectively for everyone. That's why I believe regular physical exercise is the healthiest and most reliable way to deal with stress in the long term.
Situation: you want to become more environmentally friendly in daily life. Here are 3 options. 1. Use reusable bags and bottles. 2. Take public transport instead of driving. 3. Reduce the use of plastic and packaging. Which do you think is the most effective action to help the environment?
I believe that the most effective way to be more environmentally friendly is to take public transport instead of driving. Transportation is a major source of pollution, especially in big cities. By using buses, trains, or carpooling, we can reduce carbon emissions and save natural resources like fuel. It also reduces traffic congestion and promotes a cleaner, healthier environment for everyone. Using reusable bags and bottles is great, but the environmental impact is relatively small compared to vehicle emissions. Reducing plastic use is important, but it's not always easy to avoid packaging, especially when shopping in supermarkets. Overall, choosing public transport shows a serious commitment to sustainability and can influence others to make similar choices.
Situation: you want to make better use of your weekends. Here are 3 ideas. 1. Learn a new skill or hobby. 2. Plan your week ahead. 3. Do housework and personal tasks. Which do you think is the best way to stay productive?
To stay productive on weekends, I think the best option is to learn a new skill or hobby. Weekends are a great time to invest in personal growth. Instead of only resting, I can use a few hours to explore something new. Like cooking, coding, playing an instrument, or improving my language skills. This not only keeps my mind active but also gives me a sense of achievement. Over time, these skills might even help my career or become a source of income. Planning the week ahead is useful, but it takes less time and can't compare to gaining real abilities. Doing housework is necessary, but it doesn't bring the same long-term benefits. That's why I believe investing weekends into learning is a smart and fulfilling way to stay productive.
Situation: you are working on a group project at school or work. Here are 3 ways to improve teamwork. 1. Assign clear roles and responsibilities. 2. Have regular group meetings. 3. Use online tools for communication and collaboration. Which do you think is the most important for effective teamwork?
In my opinion, the most important factor for effective teamwork is to assign clear roles and responsibilities. When everyone knows what they're responsible for, the group works more efficiently. There's less confusion, fewer overlaps, and more accountability. People can focus on their own tasks while trusting others to do theirs. This also prevents conflict and delays, especially when deadlines are tight. Regular meetings help with progress checks, and online tools make communication easier, but both depend on having well-defined roles. Without that, meetings may become unproductive, and tools might be misused. Therefore, setting up clear roles from the beginning lays the foundation for strong, smooth, and result-driven teamwork.
Situation: you want to learn a new language quickly. Here are 3 strategies. 1. Take an intensive language course. 2. Practice daily with a native speaker online. 3. Watch movies and read books in that language. Which do you think is the most effective way to learn faster?
To learn a new language faster, I believe the best approach is to practice daily with a native speaker online. This method forces me to use the language in real time. I learn not just vocabulary and grammar, but also slang, pronunciation, and cultural context. Regular conversation improves fluency and builds confidence. Speaking every day, even for 15 minutes, is far more effective than just reading or memorizing rules. Intensive courses are useful but often expensive, and they may not provide enough speaking practice. Watching movies and reading books help with listening and reading, but they're passive. You don't get feedback or interaction. That's why I believe daily speaking with a native speaker is the fastest and most practical way to become fluent in a new language.